just the beginning of ANC councillors, especially in rural regions, that will defect to the DA as we develop a strategy in the Western Cape to make sure the DA remains the political party in charge of this province. Now, it was not an easy decision. After our discussions we had with some councillors, there were a few options. We were looking at the constitution of the DA, we were looking on how they run their municipalities, clean governance, and all that. We had to look at the Patriotic Alliance and what they stand for. So it was actually an easy decision to make. Because if you join the Patriotic Alliance, you are just a number there. And people are making a lot of noise about you for 2 days, and there's no clear strategy on how they are going to change the lives of our, especially colored people, that they are standing for. Now, when you do some research in colored wards where the Patriotic Alliance have won wards, you will see there's no clear development in that wards. Looking in Mamasbury and all other wards, Claver, you can refer to those towns. There is no clear service delivery plan. But when you look at where the DA governs, and this is where I took a decision that I must join this team.
We take it seriously, and the DA does always strive for diversity, but diversity is not numerical representativity. We don't sit here and say there's X percentage of white people in the Western Cape, there's X percentage of black people in the Western Cape, and there's X percentage of coloured people in the Western Cape. So every committee and every structure of the DA has to reflect that representativity, because that is turning demography into destiny. That puts a direct ceiling on people, whether they are good or excellent or strive. None of their efforts ever get reflected in the outcome. And we're a party that links effort and outcome. So we take the marginalization of the coloured community very seriously indeed. And I can understand why the coloured community believe that under apartheid they weren't white enough and now they're not black enough. To quote the phrase that Gayton always uses to mobilize people on an emotional basis. We leave the emotions out of it. We recognize the fact and we say, this is the solution. Please be part of a movement that is building a non-racial South Africa that will include you and that will recognize your culture as a very important contributor to the whole.